Hi, I'm Dr. Gary Sachs, and I'm here with Theresa Schmidt, nutritional therapist. And we have been, for the past few weeks, spending a little time with each other talking about some of the topics that our patients have been asking us. Our clinic is really set up to work with people in a very natural way for most any health condition. And many people are surprised at how many things can be helped without the use of medications and without surgery sometimes. We never say that those aren't needed, absolutely, but they're probably not needed as much as some people feel they need to be. So, we've been choosing topics, and today I'm going to ask you to pick the topic on what we should talk about.
The basis of our topics that we pick up when we want to talk about them has been, what are we asked the most often? Mm-hmm. And so I do want to talk about that today, and just because of the times, one of the questions I hear almost every visit is, what do you think about the vaccines?
Yeah.
What do you know about the vaccines? What do you think about the vaccines? So I'm actually going to turn that to you and ask you personally what you think about it. What is your opinion?
Okay. I've really thought about this a lot, and I've tried to, as you have too, I know, tried to look at every piece of information we can get our hands on to try to evaluate that. And I think often it's oversimplified as to whether I should or whether I shouldn't, because I think a lot goes into this. Mm-hmm. And I hope that we are able, each individual, to always be able to make our own decision on what we should do. Sure. Sometimes people are forced into doing these things, so I'm hoping that that isn't something that occurs. But, so first, my thoughts are about why people would be skeptical or be curious why they should not do this.
Okay.
And there are lots of reasons. Because, first of all, this is a brand new technology. Mm-hmm. It's using RNA in the body in humans. We've never done that before. Mm-hmm. And this is a type of vaccine that has been tested in a very short amount of time. So we really don't have the accuracy of what might be happening to somebody over long term, with this.
What is the time period that usually a vaccine or a drug would go through testing?
Years. It could be years, and I think it depends on the type and how many people they can get to volunteer. And but this has been very quick.
Yes.
So there is that, about it. The criteria for the way the vaccine was tested has not been whether this vaccine stops a person from getting COVID, which I think is something that's often misunderstood.
Yeah, that's a big point.
Yeah.
That's a very big point.
The criteria has been, will it reduce the symptoms? Now, there's value in that if people are not going to the hospital and not dying because their symptoms are reduced, that's good. But interestingly enough, also there hasn't been data on whether that's actually true, that less people die because they got the vaccine, or less people are hospitalized for the vaccine. Some of that is simply just because there hasn't been enough time to even know, but it hasn't been part of the criteria to decide if this is a vaccine that we should use or not, And it's already being used in parts of the world, and soon to be used here. So there are these concerns, On the other hand, there are also things to be aware of. First, I want to say, because of the way we work in this clinic and what you're doing every day with your patients, we know the value and how much we are able to help people do the right things that will make their immune system stronger.
Absolutely, yes.
Which reduces symptoms, makes things less serious, and gives that, in my mind, that's the same thing I would say that they're saying the vaccine can do right now. However, there's a whole bunch of people out there that aren't doing what we're asking that our patients do.
This is true.
And there are people that have autoimmune disease or compromised immune systems, or have just been through something, a serious illness, and they're recovering from that. and that's where I come in to say, you know, people really need to be able to make their own decision, but I want them to have as much information as possible so they can. What I love about what we do, and really all natural healthcare practitioners do, is that when we work with somebody and we strengthen their immune system is stronger for whatever comes along.
Good point.
This is not going to be the last virus that comes through, you know, our country, our world. Hopefully we don't have one as serious as this, but there's always new virus coming around, you know. So this vaccine, when someone decides that they want to do that, they need to understand this is only going to protect them from this particular virus.
In this form.
In this form, and we know it's going to mutate, and it already has mutated actually. So it still may be something that somebody would choose, and they should have the right, you know, to do that.
Either way.
But you know what I think though, and I'm not trying to, you know, say rah rah us or rah rah, but in a way I am. Even if you take the vaccine, you should be doing the things that you should be doing, you know, in a natural way to build your immune system so that you are overall healthier. And if you're exposed to a cough or a flu from your grandchild or from your own son or daughter, you're better protected, you know, and you're not going to get as sick. So that's kind of the gamut of everything that, you know, goes through my mind. And I'm hesitant to say, no, nobody should take the vaccine. Yes, everybody should take the vaccine. And I think that the media has, I guess depending on which media you watch, but they have been misleading in the way of feeling that A, this is going to prevent the illness, and B, it's going to stop the spread of the illness. Both of those things we don't know. It hasn't been tested, and we won't know until enough people have actually done the vaccine, you know, to see if that's actually true. So.
And I think a point is, you said that hasn't been the criteria of this vaccine, whether it prevents or spreads or any of that. The criteria has been it is having an effect on the mild to moderate symptoms people are experiencing.
Yeah,
So,
and as you're pointing out, when they say this is 95% effective or whatever, that's what they're talking about. It's 95% effective on a certain percentage of the people that they have given the vaccine to in reducing symptoms.
that are mild to moderate.
That are mild to moderate. And we don't know if it's preventing the spread. We don't know if it would prevent them from getting it. And we don't know how long this immunity would last, which is another plug for a natural way, because if you build your immune system, it's yours. You've got it, to keep. So.
Yes. I did see something this morning, and they always reiterate this one takes 2. You need one now and then one in 4 weeks. And a lot of people were asking the question, is that it then? And I guess another assumption everybody has is this is the vaccine, you get the 2 and you're done.
Yeah.
But they don't even know that.
We don't know.
They don't know that. How long that vaccination is going to last for people. So there's a lot of questions that I don't feel like have been answered yet. So it's hard to make any definitive statements.
And in their defense, some of it is that they can't really answer that question until there's been a longer time period and there's been way, way more people that have gotten the vaccine than the numbers that have been in the trials.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the good news is, I think for the way that we treat our goal is to strictly just strengthen the immune system and give people the tools so they know what they can do to strengthen it and what some of their actions are that detract from the immune system, like eating sugar. Like you can have a robust, people will come to me and say, I've got a great immune system, I'm doing everything you asked me to do, how come I got sick? And my first question is always, how much sugar did you eat? Like over Thanksgiving or something. That can have an effect no matter how strong your immune system is. We can actually do things like not sleep, not exercise, not eat well, to actually detract. And that's also part of the education.
And what does it cost to not eat sugar?
Yeah, that's it for you. And,
you know, this fits everybody's budget,
yeah,
you know.
and what are the side effects of not eating sugar? What are the bad side effects of not eating sugar?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so.
Yeah. So, we hope that these talks are both helpful and healthful for you. And if you have further questions, feel free to call us, 989-732-7000, or you can also send in something over our website, sacswellnesscenter.com.